The central United States is about to enter an extremely active severe weather pattern, and if you live anywhere from Texas to the Great Lakes, you need to pay attention to this forecast. A powerful upper-level trough is going to set up shop over the Rockies this week, and it's going to unleash multiple days of severe thunderstorms capable of producing all hazards, damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. This is a multi-day event that's going to affect millions of people. So, let's get right into the forecast. All right, here's what's shaping up. The Storm Prediction Center has outlined a marginal risk for Wednesday across the high plains. Nothing too concerning there, just isolated storms with large hail and gusty winds. But Thursday is where things get serious. We're looking at a slight risk stretching from southern Minnesota all the way down to southern Oklahoma. That includes cities like Omaha, Des Moines, Kansas City, Wichita, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City. All hazards are on the table for Thursday. Very large hail, damaging winds exceeding 60 miles per hour, and a tornado threat that's going to depend heavily on storm mode. Friday shifts the focus southward into the lower Mississippi River Valley and southern plains. Dallas, Little Rock, Springfield. You're in the bullseye for Friday with damaging winds being the primary concern, though large hail and a few tornadoes are definitely possible. And guys, this isn't a one-and-done situation. Beyond Friday, the pattern stays active well into next week, with additional severe weather threats developing across the Deep South and Dixie Alley. So why is all this happening? Let's talk about the atmospheric setup. A deep upper-level trough is going to dig into the Rockies midweek, and this is going to position a strong low-pressure system over the northern plains by Thursday. At the surface, we're going to have a tight pressure gradient, and that means strong winds ahead of the cold front. Moisture is going to surge northward out of the Gulf of Mexico, pumping very humid air with dew points in the mid to upper 60s across the plains and into the Midwest. That combination of strong wind shear, ample instability, and a well-defined frontal boundary is textbook for a severe weather outbreak. The big question mark right now is the exact track of that low-pressure system on Thursday. If it stays further north, we're probably looking at more of a damaging wind and large hail event. If it tracks further south, that low-level jet could really ramp up, and we'd be dealing with a more significant tornado threat. Let me walk you through this day by day, because the timing and evolution matter. Wednesday starts relatively quiet for most areas. We've got high pressure dominating the East Coast, some lingering showers and storms across the southern plains, and a storm system slamming California and Oregon with heavy rain and gusty winds. By Wednesday evening, I'm watching for isolated thunderstorm development from central Texas near Abilene, all the way up toward Bismarck, North Dakota. If any storms become severe, large hail and damaging winds would be the primary threats. There's a small tornado risk in the Dakotas if storms fire early enough, but confidence is low on that right now. Thursday is the day that really concerns me. This low-pressure system intensifies over the far northern plains, and you can see on the models how tight those isobars get. It's going to be very windy ahead of the cold front. Moisture floods northward out of the Gulf, and storm fuel builds dramatically across the Great Plains and Midwest. By around 3 to 4 p.m. Thursday afternoon, I'm expecting initial supercell development across northern Kansas into southern Minnesota. These storms are going to have the ingredients for very large hail. We're talking golf ball to baseball size, along with damaging winds and a tornado risk that starts out low but could increase depending on storm mode. Here's the thing though, these supercells will likely start to merge and upscale into a line of thunderstorms pretty quickly. If they do, the main threat becomes damaging winds. But if some cells can remain semi-discrete, that's when the tornado threat elevates. By Thursday evening, we're looking at a line of severe thunderstorms rolling from northern Oklahoma back into the upper peninsula of Michigan, producing all hazards. If you're in central Wisconsin or western Illinois, you'll probably see thunderstorms roll through late Thursday night. Early Friday morning, those storms push southeast, with scattered damaging winds being the main concern. Friday afternoon is when round 2 kicks in. Severe weather ramps back up across areas like Illinois, potentially as far north as Wisconsin, and then southward into Louisiana. We're looking at scattered to possibly numerous severe storms with damaging winds leading the way, but large hail and a few tornadoes are definitely in the mix. The exact positioning of that old low-pressure system, which by Friday will be spinning north of Minnesota, introduces some uncertainty into the Saturday forecast. Right now, Saturday looks like scattered severe weather is possible across the Ohio Valley and Deep South, but it's a bit of a question mark at this point. Sunday and Monday bring a new storm system out of the Rockies and into the Central Plains, and this could be a significant severe weather setup, possibly even another outbreak scenario as we head into the beginning of next week. Now let's talk about the detailed timing for the most critical period. Thursday morning starts calm, but by early afternoon, the atmosphere is primed. Around 2 to 3 p.m., watch for initial cumulus development along the dry line in western Kansas. By 3 to 4 p.m., storms fire up and quickly intensify. Northern Kansas and southern Nebraska see the first supercells with very large hail and strong wind gusts. These storms track eastward, and by 5 to 6 p.m., they're impacting areas around Wichita and into south-central Kansas. Storm mode is key here. If we get a broken line, wind damage spreads across a wider area. If supercells maintain their structure, hail becomes the dominant hazard with tornado potential increasing. By 7 p.m. Thursday, the line extends from northern Oklahoma through Kansas and into Iowa and southern Minnesota. Cities like Kansas City, Des Moines, and Omaha are in the crosshairs during the evening hours. Expect all hazards, damaging winds likely widespread, large hail possible, and tornadoes can't be ruled out, especially where any embedded supercells maintain discrete structure. As we move into Thursday night, 10 p.m. to midnight, the line pushes eastward into Missouri, Iowa, and southern Wisconsin. Damaging winds remain the primary threat, but brief spin-up tornadoes are possible along the leading edge. By 2 to 4 a.m. Friday, storms reach western Illinois and continue tracking southeast. Overnight storms typically weaken, but given the strong dynamics in place, I wouldn't be surprised if we maintain severe wind potential through the pre-dawn hours. Friday morning starts with the remnant line pushing through the central Mississippi River Valley. By midday Friday, there's a lull in activity, but don't let that fool you. By 2 to 4 p.m. Friday, new storm development occurs across eastern Texas and Louisiana as daytime heating destabilizes the atmosphere again. These storms quickly organize and spread eastward. Friday evening, 5 to 9 p.m., is when the severe threat peaks across Arkansas, Louisiana, and into Mississippi. Damaging winds are the main hazard, but large hail and a few tornadoes are on the table. Let me touch on a couple technical factors that are really driving this setup. First, moisture is absolutely critical. Dew points are going to surge into the mid to upper 60s across the threat area by Thursday. That rich Gulf moisture combined with strong daytime heating creates significant instability. We're talking CAPE values, potentially exceeding 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram in some locations. That's serious storm fuel. Second, wind shear is going to be impressive. Deep layer shear supports supercells, and the low-level jet could really crank up, especially if that surface low digs further south than currently expected. Strong low-level wind shear means enhanced tornado potential, so that's something I'm monitoring very closely as we get newer model runs. Beyond the severe weather, there are a few additional impacts worth noting. Flash flooding could become a concern, especially across areas that see multiple rounds of thunderstorms. Rainfall totals could exceed 2 to 3 inches in some locations. Temperature-wise, expect a pretty significant swing. Ahead of the cold front, temperatures will be well above average. We're talking 70s and 80s across the plains. Behind the front, much cooler air moves in with temperatures dropping into the 50s and 60s. All right, let me wrap this up. Thursday and Friday are your critical days for severe weather from the Great Plains into the Midwest, and then southward into the lower Mississippi River Valley. All hazards are possible: damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. Saturday brings lingering threats across the Ohio Valley and Deep South, and then Sunday into early next week. Another system develops with the potential for significant severe weather once again. This is an evolving situation, and forecast details will be refined as we get closer. I'll have another update tomorrow with the latest model guidance and any changes to the timing or threat areas. If you're in the risk zones I mentioned, now is the time to review your severe weather safety plan. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings and know where you're going to take shelter if storms threaten your area. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss any updates as this active pattern unfolds. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.